Welcome back, Ceiba families. I want to give you all a warm welcome to our 2020 Back to School night. Due to the devastating impact the CZU Lightning Complex forest fire has had on our community, we have decided to record and share out this presentation rather than host our Back to School night live over Zoom. As I shared with you last week through two letters, some of our Ceiba faculty and staff have had to evacuate, and many others are caring for family, friends, and pets who have had to leave their homes. I'm certain many of you have been impacted by these fires as well. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone impacted by these fires. Finally, please know Ceiba is here for you should you need support. And with that, onward to our Back to School night presentation. To begin, I want to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Rip, and I'm the head of school at Ceiba College Prep. We have a two-part agenda to our Back to School night meeting. The first is a head of school welcome led by me. During the head of school welcome, I'm going to discuss three items: distance learning tips for success, the schedule, and the Ceiba family communication. After I'm finished with my head of school welcome, our grade level teams will come on and they will provide grade level expectations. Each individual teacher will provide an introduction, and then each individual teacher will give a short class overview for what their classes will look like for the upcoming school year. Like I said on the previous slide, I will be discussing three items this evening: tips for distance learning, schedules, and ways we communicate. First up is tips for distance learning, tips for success. We learned a lot in quarter four, and after reviewing how we did as a school, as well as reading what other schools are doing around the state, I came up with three basic tips that I think, actually I know, that if you follow, you will be successful with distance learning. Tip 1, show up every day. One thing that was very clear from the data is that students who attend school through Zoom every day do much better. Grades are better, they feel less stressed, and they feel confident that they know what is going on in their classes. What's the key? Showing up every day. Turn on your Zoom, answer emails, turn in your assignments every day. Do this, and I am certain you will be successful with distance learning. Tip 2, make a daily schedule. Too often I've seen kids seem lost, confused, and take way too little or way too much time to complete assignments. This often is the result of students not having a structured schedule. My second tip for success with distance learning is to create a daily schedule. Wake up at the same time, eat breakfast at the same time. You may even want to think about taking a shower just as if you were planning to come to the building. Follow your schedule of Zoom classes, and finally, make a clear break between fun time and work time. This is difficult with distance learning with all of the fun things you can do with your Chromebooks, but it's also incredibly important. If you're supposed to be doing classwork, do classwork. If you're supposed to have fun time, then you can have fun time. By following a daily schedule, you can enjoy your free time knowing you've completed all of your responsibilities for the day. Finally, tip 3. Too often, adolescents and teenagers want to retreat to their bedrooms and shut out the world. But this is not good for their mental or emotional health. Connecting with others is what makes school special for many. Just because we're physically distanced from one another doesn't mean connecting should stop. Call your friends. Talk with classmates on Zoom. Talk with your teachers on Zoom. Open up to your families. These are all ways you can connect with others and be successful with distance learning. I want to take a moment here to pause and discuss Zoom and how that's connected to connecting with others. Too many students think going to Zoom meetings means turning off your audio and video and just listening to the teacher. That's not connecting. Connecting is talking to your classmates and your teachers by using your video and your audio. That is our expectation for all of you at Ceiba. Turn on your video and turn on your audio when you're on Zoom. Okay, now that we've discussed tips for success with distance learning, I want to discuss our schedule. I've broken down our schedule into two parts. The first part is Mondays. Mondays will continue to have 6 classes or periods, but there is a new live component that I've highlighted in yellow. Your first period class will now become live and function as a homeroom for 15 minutes. This is an opportunity to connect with your classmates and your teachers. Take a look at the school announcements and plan for the upcoming week. This live session on Zoom also will help you to maintain a daily schedule. One of the tips for success I mentioned on previous slides. So students, the expectation here is to be up and on your live Zoom classes at 8 a.m. every day, including Mondays. This new live interaction begins this coming Monday, August 31st. Be sure to tune into your live Zoom class for period 1. Let's move on to our Tuesday through Friday schedule. While the schedule is staying the same, just like Monday, we're adding more live Zoom interactions. Now each of your classes, Tuesday through Friday, will begin with live Zoom sessions. Support and intervention will continue to take place on Wednesday and Friday, but will do so after your live Zoom session. I have bolded the times you all need to remember. 8 a.m. for periods 1 or 4, 9:20 a.m. for periods 2 or 5, and 10:40 a.m. for periods 3 or 6. Be sure to tune into your teacher's live Zoom sessions each period, Tuesday through Friday. My final agenda item is the Ceiba family communication. I wanted to spend a moment to discuss how Ceiba communicates with all of you. I've broken down our communication into 6 main areas. First up, phone calls. You may receive phone calls from the office if your student does not check in for the day. You also may receive phone calls letting you know that there is a tutor who's eager to support your student. This could be in the form of a grade level academic coordinator check-in who wants to support your student. Phone calls are a simple, easy method that Ceiba uses to communicate with our students and their parents. Next up, text messages. You will receive text messages that will remind you sometimes when live Zoom classes are starting, that your students need to turn in missing an assignment, or they may be there might be a link to a letter within the text message. Last week, I sent out 2 letters to our community in response to the fires. You likely received these in a link through our text message. If you have not received text messages, please call us so we can correct your name in our system. Third, emails. Similar to text, Ceiba will send out emails to families who have indicated this on their emergency card they filled out. Messages that go to text will also be sent to families' email addresses. Fourth, Schoology. Schoology is our learning management system. This is where teachers post assignments and where students can access their assignments, complete them, and submit them for a grade. Teachers will also post student grades on Schoology. Parents, please check Schoology regularly. Your students know if you do, and they will be more motivated to turn in work if they know that you'll be checking on a regular basis. Fifth, our weekly newsletter. Many families shared they want to know what assignments are coming up for their students. Our weekly newsletter seeks to resolve this issue that parents expressed. Every week, teachers will write down what students will be doing for the upcoming week. Read this letter over with your students and ask them about their assignments. This is a great way for students and parents to connect. Finally, social media. Ceiba maintains both an active Facebook and Instagram account. Ceiba staff will share out fun photos and videos as an additional way for Ceiba to stay connected with all of you. This concludes my head of school introduction to the back to school night recording. I'm now going to hand it over to our grade levels to introduce themselves.
Welcome to Back to School Night. This is the 10th grade.
Hi, my name is Mary Margulies, and I am the 10th grade geometry teacher. I'm going to go over what we're going to learn in class. Some of the things we're learning in class are the basics of geometry, like the little building blocks of geometry. We are going to do constructions. We are going to perform transformations. We're going to look at congruent figures, similarity, Pythagorean's theorem, right triangles, and trigonometry. Okay, for our live and independent, on Mondays, block 1 will have an introduction to the week via a Zoom meeting, and Thursdays and Fridays will be meetings by block time at the class start time. Block 4 will start at 8 a.m., block 5 at 9:20, and block 6 at 10:40. Commonly used tech platforms that we use in the classroom. Schoology is the major one. All the daily folders, assignments, and assessments will be in Schoology. CK12 is an online textbook that we'll be using. We'll be using Edpuzzle, IXL, GeoGebra, Desmos, and I might add some others throughout the semester. Expectations. It's always expected to do your best work in this class, and I expect my students to make mistakes and to learn from them. We all have to attend our Zoom classes and support hours as required. Students complete assignments by the due date. Late work is accepted up to 1 week at 50% credit. Participation in class discussions through Zoom and Schoology posts, and also please behave. Advocate. Oh yes, it is very important for your students to advocate for their own learning by communicating with the teacher about the concepts, the assignments, and also instructions. Okay, so best way to contact me is through email. You can get me at mary.margulies@ceibaprep.org. You can try me on Google Voice at 831-288-2308 or message through Schoology. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Ms. Burkar, and I will be teaching English Language Arts this year. So we will be learning several things within the classroom. I want to start by just letting you know which 4 novels we will be discussing. So the first one is going to be Persepolis. This is the one that we are currently working on, after which we'll start with Lord of the Flies, Frankenstein, and The Book Thief. Aside from the reading assignments weekly, students will also have weekly grammar and vocabulary packets. This is located on Wiser, which is a digital platform that we have started using this year. They will also have weekly writing assignments and weekly discussions through Zoom. So our classes on Monday will all be independent work time. So I have students block 4, 5, and 6. Students will receive a reading assignment on which they will work independently and email me if they have any questions. Students on Mondays will also receive a weekly overview of what the assignments will be for the week. On Thursdays and Fridays, we will be having live classes. On Thursdays, the live classes start based on the block the student is in. So block 4 will start 8 a.m. Block 5 will start from 9:20, and block 6 will start at 10:40. These live Zoom classes will be about 20 to 30 minutes. On Fridays, the block classes start at the same time. However, they run shorter, so it'll be around 10 to 15 minutes, after which I will have support hours for any students that would want additional help on assignments. So we'll be using several tech platforms during this quarter and semester. The first one is Schoology. So on Schoology, students will have their folders. This is where they'll be required to do their daily clicks. They'll have their agendas posted and assignments. This is also where we're going to be working on quizzes and exams. Wiser is the new platform that we're going to be using this year for vocabulary and grammar packets. So students have already signed up for this. And then Actively Learn and Edpuzzle are additional tech platforms that we'll be using throughout the school year. My expectations in English is that late work is accepted within 1 week of the assigned deadline. However, it's accepted with a 50% deduction in the grade. After the 1 week is up, the late work will not be accepted. My other expectation is that students are attending and participating in mandatory Zoom meetings. So Thursday is the one that will be graded. On Friday, they are also required to attend and then stay if they need additional support. And students communicate when they need help or are having difficulty. My contact information is located on this slide. So my email is diana.rakar@ceibaprep.org. This is the fastest, quickest way to get into contact with me, but I also have a Google Voice set up, so 408-713-0859. Please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Trevor Stober. I'm the modern world history teacher. I've been the world history teacher since 2015 when I started teaching here at Ceiba. What we will learn in this class: we will cover world history topics from 1750 to the present, including revolutions, imperialism, and the world wars. And in order to become more active and engaged members of the community, students will regularly discuss the democratic ideals of equality, representation, and justice. And how we talk about that, we read a lot of history texts and we write about them. So students should be ready to read quite a lot and to write about it. Okay, so live and independent schedule: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, I'll be meeting with block 1 for a homeroom style check-in at 8 o'clock. And then students will usually have a short reading assignment on Mondays. Tuesday, they will meet at the start of their block. This will be a longer period for about 25 to 40 minutes. With a discussion, activity, something like that, and then independent work afterwards. Students will also meet on Wednesday, but for a shorter time at the beginning of their block. And those that need support, they're falling behind, missing assignments, I'd like them to stay, and they'll receive an email from me in advance that they need to stay for longer than the 10 or 15 minutes. Commonly used tech platforms in my class are Schoology, Actively Learn, Google Docs, Gmail, and YouTube. Expectations. Late work is accepted within 1 week of the assigned deadline and with a 50% deduction in the grade. After 1 week, late work will not be accepted. When students are on Zoom, I expect them to participate, so they should be ready to turn their cameras on when answering questions. They should be engaging in discussion and group work, and they should model appropriate behavior. So far, that has not been a problem. Students have been very engaged and well-behaved on the Zoom meetings so far this year. They will receive an email from me, as I said, if they are required to stay for Wednesday support. And if you'd like to contact me, email is the best way. I definitely we'll get back to you within one day, sometimes within an hour or two, most often. And my Google Voice number is 831-288-2261. Thanks everyone and welcome back.
Hi, my name is Gamaliel Vega. I'm the ethnic studies teacher. Born and raised in Wattsville. I was actually the part of the second grade journey class of PVHS here in Wattsville. I went to Berkeley for my BA in history, Long Beach for my MA in history, and also where I got my credential. What are we going to learn in this class? So the main focus is understanding how power in this society is influenced by a person's race, ethnicity, nationality, gender, sexuality, and socioeconomic status. We're going to understand this by having debates, having research quests, and going through case studies. I've listed the case studies down below. That's going to be pretty much the majority of the year. The schedule, we meet 3 times a week. On Mondays, it's non-synchronous, so they do just Schoology assignments. On Tuesdays, it's a Zoom class where after which they do a short assignment, usually Cornell notes or a little ed puzzle. On Wednesdays, when students usually engage in the more, deep critical thinking or more deeper reflection assignment for the week. Most commonly used tech platforms are Schoology, Gmail, Google Docs, Edpuzzle, Actively Learn, and Padlet. Expectations, I have the same policy that the rest of the teachers have for the school when it comes to late work, which is 50% automatically deducted after 1 week. For Zoom, I just require attendance, participation, and behavior. Communication, email me if there's any issues, questions, or concerns. And my contact info is my email, which is also found on the class syllabus and the class landing page. Thank you.
Hola, me llamo Miss Vincent. Soy la maestra de español, vivo en Santa Cruz. Me gusta pasar tiempo en la naturaleza, leer, aprender cosas nuevas y trabajar con los estudiantes y familias de Ceiba. Aquí estoy en mi casa. Mira. Este año los estudiantes de español aprenderán muchas cosas, por ejemplo, la gramática de español, vocabulario, ortografía, leer, escribir y hablar en español, hacer proyectos. Vamos a hablar de eventos actuales y noticias del mundo, también las culturas de los países hispanohablantes del mundo y mucho más. El horario de la semana, los martes, clases en vivo en Zoom, periodo 1 a las 8, 2 a las 9:20 y 3 a las 10:40. Los miércoles también horas de oficina en Zoom y 15 minutos en vivo para todos a las mismas horas de martes. Las plataformas digitales que usaremos para clases son Schoology, que tengo toda la información aquí en Schoology también. Edpuzzle, YouTube, Actively Learn, Padlet, Flipgrid, Duolingo, Kahoot, Google Slides, Documents y más cuando las aprendo yo. Para conectar conmigo, aquí tengo mi correo electrónico, el enlace para Zoom y también mi número de teléfono. Gracias.
Hi, this is Mr. Grist, and I am the 10th grade study skills teacher. A little bit about myself. I went to college at UC Santa Cruz. My focus here at Ceiba has been geography, philosophy, and this year I'm working with the 9th and 10th graders as a study skills teacher. This is my 4th year teaching at Ceiba. So some expectations that I have for the study skills class is that students will develop their college level reading and writing skills, research skills, and good habits of mind and action, hard work, active listening, and using evidence. In addition, students who have Miss Powell are working in a special subset of study skills called credit recovery. They need to go to her Zoom every Thursday to get help from tutors and submit their weekly credit recovery goals on Friday instead of the learning log. What my classes look like each day, each week, is Thursdays. Thursdays, I will have live Zoom instruction for about 30 minutes. It might be a little longer depending on the character study activity that we complete that day. And classes will start at 8 o'clock for block 4, at 9:20 for block 5, and at 10:40 for block 6. That same schedule will be going for Fridays. Fridays, we will start in a live session for about 15 minutes, followed by planned intervention time for students. So in all, about half an hour, maybe a bit more. Again, block 4 will start at 8 a.m., block 5 will start at 9:20 a.m., and block 6 will start at 10:40 a.m. And if you wish to reach out and contact me about how your student is doing in the class, or if you have questions about me or the material, you can reach out to me with my email. My email is the best way to reach out. That is matt.grist@ceibaprep.org. And my phone number, which is set up for text and voicemail, is 831-288-5737.
Hi parents, my name is Sean Ortega. I am the resource specialist and directed studies teacher at Ceiba. I'm still working on my first year at Ceiba. All right. Working on my first year at Ceiba. I am from Watsonville. I went to Aptos High, Cabrillo College, transferred over to Chico State University, and got my teaching credential at CSUMB Monterey Bay. What will we learn in class? We spend a lot of time working on assignments from other classes. We do spend some time talking about transitioning to adulthood and life after high school. We do a lot of research specifically about part-time jobs, fill out mock applications. We study budgets and how to work a budget, and we even conduct mock interviews to prepare our scholars for the workforce. I encourage all of our students to work hard and especially communicate with their support staff. During our Zoom meetings, I help students with their assignments, help troubleshoot technological difficulties that they may have, and help them communicate with their teachers. We are a close-knit group and help each other out when needed. I'm very fortunate to teach this group of kiddos and excited to work with them for the remainder of the year. Our class schedule is Wednesday and Friday at 8 a.m. to 9:17 a.m. Commonly used tech platforms are similar to the other teachers. Zoom, Google Mail, Schoology, Actively Learn, Edpuzzle, Newsela, Google, and anything else previously mentioned. My expectations are clear. They're expected to do their best on every assignment given. I feel like it's very important to have a good mindset when attempting to complete these assignments, as it's going to help them in college. I go by a very simple saying, and I express this to our students all the time, is do your best and forget the rest. You can contact me about your student at any time. There is my email. I also have a Google Voice. You can text me as well. And there's that phone number, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Pamela Velázquez y soy la coordinadora académica del 10º grado. Yo estoy designada para trabajar con usted y su estudiante a través de cualquier dificultad que pueda tener este año. Yo también monitoreo el progreso académico de su estudiante y trabajo con todos los estudiantes y otro personal para poder brindarles apoyo. Esa es mi información de contacto. Si me quiere hablar por alguna pregunta sobre su estudiante o algo que está haciendo en su nivel de grado, me puede hablar o mandar un mensaje al 831-288-5958.